All right, it's Just Blane and Courtney Pearl or Coco, and it's parallel
That's me.
frequencies. Yeah, I like Coco. I think we got to roll with Coco.
I
And
go
what?
I go by Coco. I'm Auntie Coco. I'm Mama Coco. I'm now which Coco?
Just
Podcast
Blane
host
Coco.
Coco.
Yeah, Just Blane and Coco. I mean, I like Coco, but if it's like a pet name that only specific people use, we better not throw it out there, or it might be too late. I don't know.
Yeah, I
But
have to really like you a lot if I'm gonna let you call me Coco. No, I don't even care.
maybe I don't know. I don't know what else people could call me. Not Coco.
Just Blane.
That's it. Just Blane. There's a
Just
reason for
Blane.
that. There's a reason that people call me Just Blane. I'm not going to tell all that right now, but we will talk about that at some point. I don't want to bore people with my career. That's what it is.
Cue the music for the flashback where
Oh, yeah, the little dreamy
you
sequence, and then some psychedelic music, and then wait a minute, I'm going way far back. I'm not. That's not the '70s. We're going back to.
That's like conception.
Yeah,
Way
right.
back. It all started when two people fell in love.
Or the
And then there's Just Blane.
yeah, or you get the freeze frame, and it's how did I get here? And that's
Yeah.
all it is. Yeah, maybe that'd be it. Yeah, we should put that together. I need a biography. It'd be probably pretty short, but
Ooh. I'm
if
going to come up with one.
if there was an autobiography on me, you know what I would want it to be?
Hmm.
A children's pop-up book, like a dinosaur pop-up book. Like that's what I would want it to. I would want that to be my autobiography. So,
A little wrestling ring shows up. Just a
hey,
little. And there you go.
wrestling rings, DJing, all kinds of stuff. Prison?
What a
No, I'm kidding.
pass.
No prison. No prison. Not yet.
Not yet.
Honestly, this show might get us put away at some point. I don't know, because I'm just gonna get wild with it. I mean, we put out a episode yesterday, and I pulled out Hayden Fox's record from Coach, the TV show. I got a lot of feedback on that. That literally was years in the making, and there was even a
See?
check this out. There's another story deeper to that. I worked at NBC Sports Radio, and we had college football segments. So you see where we're going with this. So we had to bring on specific guests to come on and guess and the winners and stuff for the games, every week, every Saturday. So I pitched Hayden Fox. Not Craig T. Nelson. I pitched Hayden Fox, and everybody looked around like, who? Except for my boy, super producer Alex, because he knew.
Yeah.
I think I've got a problem. I think I see Craig T. Nelson as Hayden Fox. And I think if Craig T. Nelson ever met me, he wouldn't give a crap. He'd probably look at me and say, oh, get out of here, buddy.
Yeah, I could just see you telling him, like, I figured out what all the stats are for your make-believe team that doesn't exist. And he's like, cool, man.
Or
That's awesome.
He's like, security.
I know. Yeah. He's like, and I'm going to go.
Or Craig T might really be Hayden Fox, and he might be my best bud. I don't know. That's the way I
like
see it.
to believe that. I like
Yeah.
to believe that, when I was a really big X-Files fan, if I ever met Gillian Anderson, I'd be like, I know everything about Scully. I know everything. And she'd be like, I don't even care.
I was just there. Like, that's probably how they feel. That was a job. But I think I'm going to go out on a limb, though. I do think Hayden Fox and Craig T. Nelson are a lot of the same person.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
saying.
I think he was playing just a version of himself, which is
Craig T.
what the best actors do.
Yeah, if somebody knows Craig T out there, or if Craig T's watching, what chance of that, right? But if you do know him, send him our way. I want to see if I want to finally get my Hayden Fox moment where I talk to him. That'd be great.
Yeah. It's on the list.
Yeah.
We're putting it on the list. Podcast goals. We're going to get him on. We'll talk about his show.
Did you see this news that Paranormal Activity getting a remake or a sequel, another one? Now, I don't normally look at these movies. I do. I watch them, but I don't normally get as excited as I did for, the first one or the second one. Now they're like 8, 9 deep. But this one is going to be produced by James Wan and Jason Blumhouse. So I think it's going to be incredible. If you don't know who James Wan is, Saw,
Mm-hmm.
there you go, the Conjuring movies, that's him.
Ew.
So
Okay.
a Paranormal Activity movie might scare us this time. I mean, those are the found footage types, right? Or you see the security camera footage and you see all the not normal movie type
Yeah.
of filming. So
Freaks me out for sure.
I want to see that. I think that's going to be incredible with James Wan. I don't know if I don't know if he's directing it, just producing it, or what. But yeah, I saw that pop up. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll watch that with the lights on.
Yeah, I'd have to. I think that's how I watched it the first time. The first time I watched Paranormal Activities, first one, very
You
first one. It's
you
like,
remember
this
that
is a little too real.
that movie was a hit too, right out of the gate, and it was one of those like it spread quick by word of mouth. It was like, oh my gosh, you guys got to go see this movie because it felt so underground. I think it was different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Like we've discussed before, the Blair Witch Project and how that really changed how people did PR, movies. I mean,
You know what? Like
horror genre.
the fact that the Blair Witch came out way before Paranormal Activity. I wonder if those two movies flipped. I wonder if Paranormal Activity came out way before Blair Witch, if it would have had the same impact that Blair Witch did, because they could have made it pretty believable with all the found foot. Like, there's a way to do it, I
Yeah.
think. Also, there was social media and everything else going wild by the time Paranormal Activity 1 dropped. Blair Witch didn't have that. We have talked about that. So that's fun to think about. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, let's go back in time and see.
It's amazing how much cultural dynamics and, even like technology, like you said, social media, how much that influences and changes the media and entertainment industry. It's crazy to think about.
I really think it molds what we do. Like I do. I think
Yeah.
it's yeah. We are
Well,
now.
speaking of Saw, we're talking about season 3 of Stranger Things. And how do you say his name? Carrie Elwes
L's
I'm saying it
L
wrong.
yeah.
Elwes. I'm like, I'm a huge Princess Bride fan, and I can't say his name. I
Yeah,
don't know how
yeah.
to say it, but it's only because I've seen it so many times and not said it. But he makes an appearance in season 3, and you remember him from the Saw movies? Remember
I
that?
do.
Remember?
I do. Yeah, right? Okay, I just thought that. Oh my gosh. Let's get
Do
into
you
season
remember?
3.
Do you remember that one part? Do you remember when that was cool, right? Wasn't that cool?
Dead on. Let's talk about season 3. You ready? We want to get into Stranger Things
Ready?
season
Let's
3?
do it. Yeah.
Stranger Things season 3. We've done the full recap. And I mean, full recap is in like what, under 5 minutes? Go check that out if you haven't. We're not going to do
Yeah.
a recap per se here, but what we're going to do is just talk about Stranger Things season 3. I got to say, oh, I don't know if I want to say, but I think it is probably my favorite season. I think
Do you
season
think
3,
so?
the whole
Oh.
Starcourt Mall, the
Yeah.
vibe, the feel. You know what it is? I worked in a mall, probably about that same age. So maybe I saw a relation.
Little nostalgia, little.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was back when like peak mall it was popularity, right? Like malls were just starting to pop up all over the country and malls were it. In theory, malls should be great because it's, a bunch of stores, so many places for people to congregate, socialize, and see your friends after school. I just wish we could have malls nowadays that are like boutiques and more like small businesses and
Yeah.
not so much the, chain stores and stuff.
I mean, we still have malls, right?
Yeah.
Like malls didn't go away during COVID. They almost did, but we
Yeah.
we
I mean, a
we
lot
still
of them did. There was
yeah.
some that just they didn't make it, but we
But
saw a bit of a decline in the popularity of malls the way that they were in the 80s. We see
90s
here.
as well. 90s as well.
Yeah.
Maybe even early 2000s if we want to date me and talk about high school. Like there was the time when that was the thing to do. It's like, oh, I'm going to the mall tonight.
Yep.
It wasn't I'm going shopping, I'm going to a store, I'm going to the mall. Like, I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the teenagers are doing in these types of movies and shows. Even the really great shopping montage between Max and Eleven scene. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
the bright geometric patterns on the jumpsuits. I wore those when I was 5. I totally. But then I'm thinking to myself, where did they get the money for this?
Yeah,
Where did
right?
they get the money for this like cool shopping spree and total makeover that 11 gets to go through? Because the reality was a lot of us that were hanging out in malls didn't have money.
Didn't have $1 on us.
Yeah.
We were
Enough for an
going,
orange Julius, maybe.
I was gonna say you might have enough for a drink,
Yeah.
and then you use that cup again to get refills of water, maybe some soda if you could sneak it in. But I don't condone that.
Yeah. But you know what? We're teenagers, we're flat broke, and maybe if you had a job at the mall, like you did, you had a little extra cash to spend. You had a friend that
Yes.
worked at the ice cream shop and could get you some free samples. Erica takes advantage in this season of her friends Steve and Robin being there, and she's like, "I'll sample everything. Thank you very much."
She gets free ice cream forever. I think if they ever, I don't know if they ever officially made that deal, but I think she did ask for free ice cream
Yeah,
forever.
I think they got out of the deal because the mall got
It's
demolished.
no more there.
So
Yeah. So scoops
poor Erica
ahoy.
had to do all that she went through and climbing in air ducts and risking her life and everything. And she's probably not going to get any free ice cream.
I don't think so either, unless there's another Scoops Ahoy opens up in seasons 4 or 5. I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna happen. But she was so sassy in this season. I think this is her breakout season. This is the one where
Yeah.
it was like, you know what? Maybe the Duffer Brothers were like, all right, she's gonna be a real main character now. Let's see what she can do, and she crushed it. Every
Yeah.
scene she's in, she's this little sass monster. Really.
The quick favorite, like I said in the recap, the banter between her and Maury Bowman, and I don't know if it's in this season or the next one, but when the two of them are face to face with each other arguing, then you're like, ooh, Queen of Sass and King of Sarcasm, and these two together, loving it.
Murray Bowman, Brett Gelman. This guy, I love this guy. I've seen him in quite a few other things. He was in some other Netflix shows, and I thought he was the standout. I think that the fact that he is not the only standout on this show is a true testament to the rest of the actors in here, because he could definitely overshadow everybody in this easily because of he's a huge presence. Like he commands the screen. If he's one of those actors that behind the scenes, like he commands the scene and the screen, and he makes you feel the emotions. You might think he's funny.
Yeah.
You might be mad at him. You might be like, oh my gosh. He might make you feel unsettled. Like there's all these things that he touches on. And I think he's really great at that. I'm talking about Brett. I'm not talking about Murray, but Brett Gelman himself. I think he can do that.
Amen.
Yeah, but I love this character. I loved his character in this season. He kind of went from, we saw him in season 2. You didn't even remember he was in season 2. And he slides under the radar, and then all of a sudden he's this huge character in season 3.
Major character.
Yeah.
Yeah, major plot point. And some of the best lines, I think, in the whole series go to him, I think. Quick wit.
They do. And you remember, this is the season where he's got Alexei. So the whole Russian arc is coming to, we really need the Russian conspiracy theorist, whatever you want to call him, in Murray. And yeah, he gets Alexei. We get all the Russian stuff. We get that crazy scene. Sad scene. It's like, why did Alexei have to go? You know?
I know, poor guy. He did all that just so that he could survive, maybe, possibly, and he doesn't anyway.
No, like they knew how to write. They knew how to write these scenes to where it was really, you know what? They developed a character. He's a bad guy at first. Once again, Alexei would be a bad guy, awful guy, right? Because they go into the Russian lab.
Spy scientist. Yeah.
Awful human being. He's done some terrible stuff. We shouldn't like him. Not long in, it's an episode maybe. We're like, oh my gosh, we love this guy. He's carrying around stuffed animal that he won at the carnival, and he's enjoying life. You know, you're like, oh, this guy's cool. But
You know
think
what?
about
He flipped kind of fast. I know he was doing it out of survival and he needed to, and Hopper knew that. And that whole scene of like, he'll be back. He's got nowhere to go.
yeah,
But think about how fast he flipped to like, I love America. I got
I
me some stuffed animals at the carnival. I'm good.
I love
America's
it.
awesome.
They told him the games were rigged, and he comes back with the biggest damn thing that you could have. I
You
thought
kind
that
of
was
gotta love it. You gotta love him a little bit. He's
that's
kind
a
of likable.
big time.
Yeah. So we got new characters. We got Robin,
Oh, Maya
my
Hawk,
hawk.
man.
She has the perfect blend of awkward adorableness and beauty. And I mean, Uma Thurman's daughter, Ethan Hawke's daughter, she's amazing. It's one of those situations where you're like, all right, did she just get into Hollywood and this kind of stuff because she's of famous parents? I mean, was she handed this role? What's going on?
Yeah.
But she shows up and absolutely kills it, I
Now,
think.
I love that, and that's a great point there, because she could have been handed this, and maybe she was handed this, but if she paid attention to what her parents were doing. Am I right? Like
Mhm.
she
Grew up
knew.
on set, right?
She did an audition for the Duffer Brothers for Stranger Things, and they loved her so much that they rewrote part of Robin's dialogue to fit her quirky humor. So a lot of what we're seeing from Maya / Robin, it's really her.
Yeah,
So that's why it comes across so well. I love her. I think she's one of the best characters.
I
Um,
did too. And I think her story arc is amazing. Like you start to get a little bit of the complexity of who she is. I mean,
yes.
and I try to imagine what it's like for this character of Robin to be like, all right, I'm just a teenager doing my job at the Scoops Ahoy. For some reason, this kid shows up and is translating Russian in the background. I don't know what's going on, but I'm in. And then to be dove into a storyline like this, if I'm just imagining what it's like to be her,
Oh,
and you're like, wait,
well, she's the one that
what?
translates. She translates the Russian. She put herself into it. You know, I was like,
Totally. Well, without knowing all of what was going on until they get down into they infiltrate this Russian lab and they see another gate is opened and Steve is like, oh no. Steve and
yeah,
Dustin are like, we know what this means. And she's like, what's going on? Wait, hold up. You guys already know what this is? Like,
yeah.
she's really just thrown into this whole thing that is strange. Stranger Things. Right?
Stranger Things. It's weird. It's a lot going on, but I think she fit it perfectly.
Yeah.
And
She
she
rolls
does
with it.
have, yeah. I thought she was a great addition. And once again, it's another one of those characters that comes in, just like we saw in season 2. They just fit. You don't feel like, I got to get used to this person. No. You feel like they've already been there. Like
Yeah.
it was natural. It
Yeah.
would have been. It would have been. If you think about it in real life, when you start a new job at a mall, you're with new people.
Yep. Making
So
new
it happens.
friends, maybe even friends you wouldn't have made normally at school, which is kind of where you get that whole dynamic between Steve and Robin. And
Yeah.
they're like, you know, Robin might have been a little bit of an outcast in school, maybe not popular. Steve
Yeah.
is for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But then they get this dynamic that becomes a friendship that I am so envious of. I'm like, I would love a Robin in my life. I would love a Steve in my life. I want this.
Let's find you one. Let's find you a Robin or a Steve in your life, because Robin's character is confused already. She's a teenage girl and all these things going on. And at home as a viewer, we are confused because we see this weird chemistry between her and Steve, and we're like, oh, are they like a thing, or what is this?
Yeah.
But
You think it
then we
might be a
find
new
out.
love interest?
Then we find out later. They have
Mhm.
that bathroom scene, and they talk about Tammy Thompson. Tammy
Mhm.
Thompson was the one, and she says a line. She says, "Why was it you that she was in love with?" Basically, and you're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. What did you have that I didn't have?
and
Yeah.
it
Oh,
it starts clicking. You're like, oh, wait a minute. And even with Steve, you had the same reaction Steve had. You're like, oh, she likes girls.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this huge moment. And guess what? There were gay people and lesbians in the 80s. What?
Shock.
Oh my gosh, there were.
Yeah,
So this
you know
is
what?
not
There were in the 1800s too, and before that, and since the beginning of time.
this is not a far-fetched storyline, is what I'm getting at. Like, this is a
Yeah.
normal thing back then, but here's what the difference was. I get the time difference in how much of a bigger deal maybe that it was in society back then
Yeah.
to do that.
You got to think how vulnerable she was revealing that to
Yeah.
Steve. Maybe it was the first time she's really ever revealed it to anyone or said anything out loud. You know, and that would have been probably about right for that time period and that age that she was in, right?
I
Yeah.
think everybody was probably holding their breath to see Steve's reaction in that scene. You know, like I think because that could have went one of two ways, and I love the way it went. He
Yeah.
had no problem with it. It's like, okay.
Oh,
If
okay.
anything-
Yeah.
If anything, he was maybe disappointed because she's a hottie, you know, and now she's
Yeah.
off limits.
Like,
But they did.
Oh, okay.
But that did make their relationship stronger, and
Mhm.
we see that as it goes. And we won't get too far into season 4 because we're going to do that one. But I think that was a huge moment, a beautiful moment, beautifully written, beautifully acted, all of those things. And like I said, it would have been. I'm not taking away from how big of a deal it is now to come out to somebody, but back then, 40 years ago, harder.
Yeah. No, you didn't know what the reaction was going to be, and that
Especially to
I'm
someone
so glad
who was
you a good example.
yeah, especially to somebody who was an alpha male at like Steve at one point, you know, like that's how he was built as a character. You really didn't know how he was going to react. So yeah, I do think that was a beautiful scene. And beautiful character development. I don't know what Maya. I don't know how Maya is. I don't know what her.
Oh, I've seen some interviews where she has some talks about book crushes that she has when she was on other podcasts and interviews that I've seen of her. And so I'm like, I'm pretty sure she likes the fellas, but you know, it's fluid. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean.
But I love that Stranger Things has a really great way of integrating, you know, this mysterious, paranormal, horror, sci-fi aspect to it, and these developments of relationships and real things. You see these kids growing up throughout the series. So you've got the young boys, that were, you know, the D&D crew, I like to call them.
Yeah.
OGs, the OGs of season 1, and you're seeing them grow up and have like, now they're kind of pairing off. Now that Max is in the picture, you know, Lucas has a little girlfriend there, and Mike is still kind of obsessed with 11, and they've got their obsession going. In fact, like full out makeout sessions. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's a whole other story going on. And then you have Will. So Robin's coming out is sort of setting up what Will's going through. He's like in this phase of like, no girls allowed. Let's stay kids. I'm still kind of holding on to my childhood. I missed some childhood while I was going through stuff. So you've got, you know, Mike has 11, Lucas has Max, Steve has Robin, maybe right now. Jonathan has Nancy. And then you've got Will with his trauma. Like that's his like side business going on.
Yeah. And you got this monster or whatever wreaking havoc all at the same time when these kids are going through life, really. It's like, that's terrifying. You know what the most terrifying thing in the whole Stranger Things overall, all seasons has been? It's in season 3. It's on the marquee in the background of the movie theater. They're actually showing Return to Oz in that theater. If you look close, that's gotta be the most terrifying thing. That's the most terrifying thing in the whole thing of Stranger Things is the fact that theater is showing Return to Oz. If you hadn't seen that movie, don't. It'll give you nightmares.
Or do watch it and then watch our rewatch of it, which we did last year at the Witch Movie Project.
Yeah.
So throw back to our whole deep dive into Return to Oz, which was a trip, man.
We did a live screening of that. Let's just tell the truth. We did a live screening of that and people walked out. I don't blame them.
Like,
I don't blame them.
creepy and a little awful. Yeah.
Nah, but let's get back to Stranger Things. You had 11's powers in this one finally start dying off too. Like she declines. You don't know why. You don't know if it's going to come back. The nosebleeds, they enhanced it a little bit. It looked a little bit wilder, but you could really see it taking the toll on 11, on Millie Bonbon, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I kind of love the storyline with how healing it must have been for her to have Hopper in her life. And we didn't talk about this enough in yesterday's episode of season 2, because that's where it really started. How much the influence of 11 in Hopper's life is healing him and his trauma at the same time, because he was not a likable character really at all in season 1. When you first see him, he is a slob. He is not taking care of it. He's a drunk. He is not taking care of himself at all. He's barely doing his job. And then, the influence of like, oh, now this girl needs me in her life. I'm going to take care of her. You see how that changes him and makes him more likable and more desirable, honestly, to Joyce as a love interest that starts in this season. Now that Bob is out of the picture. Am I right?
Poor Bob.
I know.
Gone too soon. That's just all you can say.
Yeah, but he had to be out of the way for this whole thing to play out between Hopper and Joyce. And like, where is that going? You gotta tease things a little bit along the way. And I love a slow burn when it comes to romance and shows or anything like that. That's probably why I watched X-Files more than anything. Was are they or aren't they between Mulder and Scully was my primary focus. I was like, the other stuff is cool too, but I want to know what is going to happen there. Yeah. So funny. You've got that. And then you've got this story with 11 in that how is Hopper's influence on her? She has always been treated like a tool. Yeah. She's always treated like she's just of use to someone else. Her papa, Dr. Brenner, he doesn't really love her like a daughter. He treats her like, I need you. I'm going to use you for anything that I need. And your powers are useful to me. And so I think it's a careful dynamic in that, the kids and Hopper, they do need her. If anybody's going to be able to defeat this mind flayer thing and save everybody, it's got to be her. Like, who else is going to do it? But they also have to show a side of that relationship where they do care about her. They do love her. And Mike is very protective. He's like, this is wearing her out. Like, we can't keep using her. She is going to die if we keep doing this to her. And Hopper too. Like, they have a very protective, actual caring and nurturing.
I mean, we see it in its finest form after Hopper dies, let's say. Yeah. And the letter. Oh. I think that letter is to Elle from everybody, even us as viewers at home. Like, I think that's really what that was. And it's like, hey, we know how the letter went, but I think that sums up all of it. And that was one of the biggest moments to me in Stranger Things. And I mean that seriously. That's one of the most emotional moments in the whole seasons, all of them, all whole series, is that letter from Hopper. We think, because at that time, we think he's dead. We know he comes back. I mean, it's not a spoiler. He's on the posters for the new seasons. So it's hard to spoil that. But
that dynamic continues. But
yeah, but I think that hit so hard with us not knowing if he's coming back. It still hits hard now watching it, and he's coming back. But you finally get to feel, I don't know what he's feeling, because he is this hardened shell, and you never really know. He's a slob, he's all these things, but he's got a heart, He cares.
he cares and he's trying and he messes up all the time. And he was supposed to have that talk
Yes.
with 11 and say those things to her, but he couldn't quite do it. So he ended up just kind of like ruining the relationship between 11 and Mike and kind of getting in the way of that because he didn't like them making out 3 inches. What was it? 3 inches?
3 inches. Which
On
is
that
funny.
door.
If you look at other scenes, she does keep that door open 3 inches all the time. Even if they don't say it, it's open. It's funny.
That's the first thing she says to him when they reunite. Well, we'll talk about that now.
Yeah. But, oh, yeah. We can't get that far. We got boundaries here. Season 3 is what we're talking about. This one was This was the one with the big Russian stuff. Although the lab, the base, they built that thing on a massive soundstage with real tunnels. The Duffer Brothers wanted an authentic Cold War vibe. They got it. They pulled it off. I believed it. I bet it was cool to be down there. I wonder what that was like. I bet that was wild. I don't know. I have an infatuation with movies, TV shows, whatever, where people are like trapped in bunkers or we're gonna get. Yeah.
Does it feel like a fear to you? Like it would genuinely be terrifying to you, or you're just like, it's cool, it's fun, it's something about burrowing appeals to you?
I don't know if it's just that. I think we should get into this. I think this is a whole episode that we'll have to get into because I got some
into your
ideas
psyche. What is that? I like caves. That's why I record in my cave here. I like caves. I like things that are cozy and tight and I have to climb into a little bit.
Yeah. We get that post-credit scene. We get that post-credit scene though that kind of tells Hopper's still alive, even in this season where he's, what is it, Kamchatka or whatever, Russia. Yeah. So he's not gone. He's not gone.
No, he couldn't be. I mean, I think they wanted something that was kind of like, oh my gosh, he sacrificed himself, that kind of traumatic big ending kind of a thing. But then that also probably were like, but we can't get rid of him. We really kind of want him for season 4. And then we've got plans for him. I could imagine if I was a fly on the wall in the writer's room, that's what I imagine happening.
Yeah.
They're like, let's make it dramatic. Right.
That last episode, that very last episode, the Battle of Starcourt, that's one of my favorite episodes of the whole series too. I think I even texted you during the rewatch. I'm like, OMG, this is like a effing movie. Was my
Oh, that's so true. Yeah, totally blowing the whole television norm out of the water and saying like, we're just going to make a mini movie, and it's going to be a mini movie that keeps going. Then there's going to be another one and another one. I mean, movies are not released like that. And yet they were able to pull that off. Some criticism I've heard of season 3 is that it does feel like they wrote it too fast. They had a lot of time to write the first season, and then they took their time with the next season. But there was some criticism there, and I can kind of see it in that, like the development of Will feels a little bit flat. Like they weren't really sure what to do with him. So he's just kind of left doing the little tingle on the back of the neck thing where he's just like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And that's as deep as it really goes for him. It's almost like they just didn't quite know what to do with him yet, you know?
I mean, it could be because we still don't have Vecna yet.
Yeah. We don't know that connection yet. We don't know how all that plays a part later, which I'm glad they got that in there so that he has more to do as we move into season 4, season 5, right?
Yeah, Will did kind of take a back seat season 3, but we got the best character development ever in most of the other ones. Like almost everybody else
make up for it, right?
Yeah. But I
love that Max and 11 kind of get their friendship solidified because they didn't get to have that yet until now. And so Max being the new girl still, like I said yesterday in the last season, she's the new girl. So like, that's hard. Like, do I fit in? Am I part of the group? I don't know. And then for them to bond over boys being jerks, love that. And I love the fact that Max was very embracing of 11. Like, you're not weird. I'm not weird. We're cool. Like, let's be besties. Loved that.
Let's be weird together.
Let's be weird together. We're the ones who face monsters, so we can relate to each other.
Like they said in The Craft, we are the weirdos, mister.
Right.
Remember that?
Love that throwback. I love that callback. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So go ahead. Yeah.
I can't not mention, really, for me, the pivotal episode of the season is episode 6, or E pluribus unum. Unum. If I'm saying that right, I don't know Latin. It's hard. But I was really struck by the whole idea of 11 being able to go into Billy's memories, and that, like, potentially he's hiding secrets in his subconscious so that the mind flayer doesn't infiltrate that. I know there was a lot of influence of the Duffer Brothers being influenced by Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's one of my favorite films of all time. I mean, I really think that's one of the most well done films ever. Acting, writing, directing, all of it. I love all of it. But the idea that you can hide in the subconscious in memories that are pleasant or good, and that like can't be affected, and that 11 kind of goes into Billy's past and into this memory of him as a child, seeing him as a kid on the beach with his mom. That struck me so hard, because that's essentially what I do for a living in my healing work with people. Now, it's not me infiltrating their memories like 11 did, but I go with them. I'm taking their present day self and allowing them to have these experiences where they talk to their subconscious in the form of their inner child. So for Billy to have that moment where it was like, this is where some trauma started for him. This is where you see his dad, and 11 gives the dad this like mean mug look, like, you're mean, you're bad. And I mean, I have to say, I've had that feeling when I go into people's past and they're like, this stuff happened to me. This person was abusive to me. And then I get to be the one that says, how does that feel? What do you want to do? Do you want to beat them up? Do you want to yell at them back? Do you want to blow them up with a grenade? What do you want to do? And I get to do that with people. So that just made me think, oh man, I get this in such a real level. And that makes me just love what I do for a living.
No, that's incredible. It sounds like The Shining. You have the shine, or whatever they say. Isn't that what the thing is? You can get into people's minds, and we'll get into that. And you know what? We already did The Shining. We did The Shining. We talked about it, but
did that too. Yeah, we've done a lot.
We have done a lot. We're gonna run out of stuff to do. Never.
No. Never.
What do you want to wrap up season 3 with? Final thoughts? Have you had them? What's going on?
Yeah. Well, okay. So I'll go back to the question of favorite character, and I'll say, like, if you had one that stands out for this season, who would that be for you?
Murray. Brett Gelman is Murray. Yeah. And Robin. I mean, this is a hard one, because there was a lot of heavy hitters that stepped up. They've got it's just an all-around good cast. Nobody, like I said, Brett Gelman could have outdone everybody on that set. But I think they elevate each other. I think the actors elevate each other. David Harbour, Winona Ryder, all of them on set, those people right there are veterans in the game. And if you're not following what Winona's doing, like I've said in another episode, she wrote backstories. She was doing all this stuff that was not necessary to do. Yeah.
Hey, but and if you didn't know she had a wide range, just remember back when this season came out, I think it was this season, when the actor that plays Hopper was getting an award. Do you remember it was a meme forever, was Winona Ryder's facial expressions during his acceptance speech? Yeah. And we all found out later it was because she couldn't really hear what he was saying. And so she was trying to like listen, and she just had all these facial and people were like, is she okay? Like they thought maybe she was losing her mind.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love her for that moment where she's just like, and I'm like, I love her.
You were point on right there. Perfect representation of Winona Ryder's meme.
That was my impression. Yeah.
I love it. Straight, dead on, dead accurate.
But I
No,
can
but I
see why
love it.
she was your favorite when we talked about the other season back when. But Murray, yeah, he stands out this season.
What about you?
I gotta say Hopper. And I'm blanking on the actor's name here.
David Harbour.
Yes. Okay. So just, I mean, I actually love him in all the seasons. He's probably like my close one for all the seasons too. But I would say that's my pick for this season. I feel like the whole like protective dad and like
Yeah,
just the whole thing. I'm like loving that dynamic that he's bringing forward.
it continues. Spoiler alert, it continues. I think that's it though for season 3. We will continue with season 4, the darkest chapter yet, I gotta say. I think it is. But we will do that one on the next time. Right here, Parallel Frequencies. Hit the subscribe button. Right now, if you're out there, you're listening, watching, whatever, hit subscribe, follow, like.
Give us all your comments. Give us all your juicy theories. Give us all your favorite characters. I want to hear it. I want to hear all of that.
Yeah, until then, we'll see you.